So excited because I'm finally shooting this video. I really wanted to make a video with like just little tips, helpful stuff for anybody who is, well, any artists who are thinking about commissioning art. So I have about 8 tips here, well, 8 general tips, and then I break them down into like more specific stuff. But it should be super helpful. I just like thought about my entire process and everything that I went through, like maybe my first year after starting to commission art, and hopefully y'all can learn from my mistakes. So the first one is, I want you to ask yourself this question seriously. Are you equipped to draw things that don't inspire you? Some artists, actually I think most artists cannot do it. When you commission art, it's not the same as you seeing something or thinking of an idea that you really want to throw on paper and that you get excited about. Somebody is going to want you to draw their cat or draw something that excites them, and it's probably going to be extremely boring for you. And when a project is extremely boring, it's harder to do. It feels like a chore rather than like, you know, you're not enjoying yourself doing what you love. You feel like you're being punished. So you have to really ask yourself, are you prepared to go through that? Or are you the kind of artist who can just draw anything that people throw at you and it'll come out great? Because personally, when I'm not into it, it's not gonna come out as wonderful as something that really inspires me. You could choose right now after hearing that to just not commission artwork at all, or you can be like me and just pick and choose which commissions you're gonna take on. I get emails all the time that I have to turn down because it's either something that I don't do or something that I won't do, or just something that is not worth the money, because it's just gonna like bore me to death. I'm probably gonna take forever doing it because it's so boring. And usually in that case, I will suggest a list of other artists who I think would be more suited for the job. That way they're not like walking away with nothing. So number 2 is basically getting a portfolio together. You want to grab all of your best pieces in your opinion, or maybe the pieces that have already got the most attention and you've shown other people. Put them together and let them be your promotional tool for gaining customers. I think the best thing to do is to get one piece for each type of different art that you do. Like for instance, if I'm promoting myself as an artist online, I'll maybe post 4 pictures, and one will be a realistic color pencil portrait, one will be a realistic graphite portrait, and one will be on gray paper or white paper. Like just showing all the different kind of things that I do. Just let your art speak for itself. When you post it online like Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, it's a lot easier to promote visual art than any other kind of art, because people have eyeballs, and if it's on there, they're going to see it. They don't have a choice but to see it if it pops up on their screen. You know, it's not like a song where they have to make themselves press play and go listen to it, or a video where they have to, you know, make themselves go watch it. It's there. So once they see it, if they like it, they're most likely going to reach out to you. I would say the best portfolio you can have is like a website, or an Instagram. You don't have to have a website. You can just have Instagram, as long as you have a place where people can view your art and also contact you in the same place. So number 3 is to think about pricing. So I personally have set prices for commissions. Like I have a set price for the different sizes that I do, and then for the different mediums. And then I'll have like an added price for if there are more than one face, because I only commission portraits, so I'm only doing faces. So if there's more than one person, then I'll be like, well, that's an extra 25 or whatever. Other artists, they don't have set prices, and they listen to what the customer wants, and they decide based on that how much detail they have to put in or whatever. They decide what the price is going to be. I only do portraits, so you know, my stuff is really limited. I don't have to worry about a bunch of extra stuff really, so that's why it's easier for me to have set prices. But depending on what kind of art you do, that's how you would decide whether you want to have set prices or if you want to do it based on what the customer brings to you. When it comes to thinking of, you know, fair prices for your art, it might be helpful to look at other artists who have similar art to yours or are on the same skill level as you. Check out what they're charging for their art. I don't really remember how I came up with the prices for my art. I actually started out really cheap, I think. The first year I was commissioning art, I was doing 11 by 14 portraits for $50. And I would just go up like $25 each size. So 14 by 17 would be $75, and then I didn't do anything bigger than that when I first started. So yeah, my prices were like, no, I think it was $150 for 11 by 14 and $100 for 14 by 17. And then the next year, you know, once my skills started improving, I would go up on my prices. And then I went up on my prices again after I sold my Bob Marley portrait for a couple thousand, because then I realized, you know, my art is worth a lot. People are willing to spend a lot for my art. So now my prices are, I don't even do 11 by 14s anymore, because I'm like, nah, that's too small. I'm doing, you know, we doing big things. So I do a 14 by 17. Charcoal is going to be less expensive than color pencil, so I'll do a 14 by 17 charcoal for $175, and I think the color pencil one is $225. So my prices also went up in that regard. Like each size goes up $50. I don't remember how I came up with that, but like I said, you know, just check out other artists, or just whatever you feel like your art is worth. But don't it's kind of difficult, because you don't want to underestimate it, but you don't want to overestimate it either. And I know a lot of artists, including myself, sometimes we look at our work and we're like, damn, that's I'm a beast, like I'm really killing shit. And then a year from now, we'll look back at it and be like, wow, that shit was like actually extremely weak. I don't know what I was thinking. So sometimes, you know, you can look at your art with like rose-colored glasses, but yeah, I don't know. That one is hard, but you'll figure it out. So number 4 is to set guidelines. And by guidelines, I mean that you need to tell people what they have to provide you with in order for you to give them the best drawing you can give them. And also by guidelines, you need to tell them everything they need to know. So as far as how you price your work, payment methods, your whole process, whether they can see pictures of the process, you know, as you're working on the drawing, stuff like that. You have to remember that they are paying a lot of money, most likely, for your art, and they want to, you know, they want to be reassured that they're getting what they're paying for. And along with that, I just want to say, oh my God, please, I'm begging you, please get a deposit. Not every day, that's over exaggeration, but a lot of the time I see posts on the internet from artists complaining about how they did a piece for somebody and they haven't gotten paid. Oh my God. It is crazy how many artists really trust people, like, with everything. You cannot put all of your blood, sweat, and tears into a piece, all of your energy into a piece, and just give it to somebody before they pay you, and just expect that they're not gonna try to play you. You can't be this trustworthy. Human beings are not they are not angels, okay? You can't trust everybody. And I see this all the time. I don't understand. Same thing with, like, you know, posting your artwork online without putting your name on it. I know that people should not take artists' work and claim it as their own. They shouldn't take your work and repost it without crediting you, but they do. And I know it kind of sounds like victim blaming, but at this point, you know this is going to happen. And unfortunately, it's not illegal for somebody to post your art on their Instagram and not put your name on it. And if you don't want it stolen, just put your name on it. Why don't artists want to put their name on it? You're gonna sign it anyway. Am I wrong? Just put your name on it, okay? Because this is where we're at. Your art is gonna get stolen. So anyway, all that was to say that if you get a deposit before you start on the work, you're guaranteed to get paid at least some money in case the customer decides to cancel while you're halfway through it, or if you finish it and they decide that they don't want it anymore, so they're not going to pay the rest. At least you get paid something. I require a 50% deposit before I start on anything. That's just me. You don't have to charge that much for a deposit. But yeah, I need at least half. Number 5 is to get everything in writing. And that is not just to help you, but it's also to help the customer, because if you all have any kind of discrepancies or miscommunication or arguments or whatever, it's all going to be written down. It's going to help you remember what you actually have to do, like what the customer wants. And like I said, in case something happens to go wrong, God forbid, because nobody wants to go to court, but if something goes wrong, you have it all written down as your proof and your evidence that you did what you were supposed to do, or what you promised to do, and whether or not they followed the guidelines. And going back to the guidelines, you want to make sure that the person reads them thoroughly and agrees in writing that everything is okay. Even if you for some reason decide to do your business over the phone, you still want to verify everything that you talked about in writing afterwards. I don't do business over the phone. When people send me their number, I completely ignore it and tell them to email me. I do everything through email, because not only is my stuff in writing, but it's in the same place with all of the payments I receive and all of that. So everything is all in one place, how I like it. And by the way, if you are not really sure about what payment method to go with, PayPal is pretty, usually number one for stuff like this. Or if you bank with Chase, you can receive money through Chase Quick Pay. You could go through MoneyGram, Western Union. I would not accept checks. I don't know how you would accept the check. Yeah, no, I wouldn't accept checks. Anything where your money is going to be directly deposited. Number 6, do not commission anything that you haven't mastered yet. And by that, I mean, if you know you're not good at drawing full body figures, if you know you're not good at drawing faces, if you know you're not good at drawing inanimate objects or clothing or hair, or even different art styles. If you're not good at anime or manga, I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sorry if I didn't, or you know, Disney type stuff, comic stuff, realism, abstract, whatever you have not mastered yet, don't offer it for payment from to anybody, because then they're gonna pay for something that is subpar or below what it, you know what I'm trying to say. So like me, for instance, I only commission portraits because I'm still pretty much working on everything else. Basis is the only thing I can say I have 100% mastered and I'm just amazing at. Everything else, I'm still working on. So I don't commission anything but portrait. Number 7, one of the most important things is be professional. Now that you are commissioning art, you're offering your work for payment, you're mingling with customers and all of that stuff. You are now a businessman or a businesswoman, and you want to act like one. Even if you don't see yourself that way. I never saw myself as a businesswoman, but I try to conduct myself as professionally as possible because I want my customers to keep coming back. I want them to tell their friends about me. I want them to share my work. With being professional comes things such as maybe having a business card, having a website with your own domain. So not tenebriana.ticktail.com, which is what my website used to be. Now it's tenebriana.com. It just, you know, it looks more professional, you know, because, I mean, you know, it just does. And also with being professional is like, you know, be professional with your interactions. Treat the customer the way you would want to be treated if you were dishing out hundreds of dollars for them to create something for you. If I had, you know, given an artist a 50% deposit, so say like $150 for a $300 piece, I would probably be like antsy and like, you know, anxious, because I want to make sure that I'm paying for something that's gonna be worth the money that I'm getting. When you interact with your customers, don't talk to them like they one of your friends or one of your boys. Be courteous, unless they're not courteous to you. That's the only thing I would say. And then I think you should just stop that right there and not even allow them to be a customer. But, you know, talk to them the way you would expect a company or a brand to speak to you when you're reaching out to them. If they have an issue or something, or a complaint, and you know you're in the wrong, try to fix it. Don't try to scam people. Like, sometimes you're gonna take losses because you're new at this and you're still learning. But don't just like brush people off. Like, do what you have to do to keep your brand name intact. Unless somebody is just starting bullshit with you and whatever, that's different. But if you know that you're in the wrong, you need to do something about it to get back right with their customers, so they don't, you know, go make negative posts about you on Yelp. My last tip is to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy arting. Enjoy running your own business and being in charge. Enjoy interacting with your customers and your supporters, and it's going to be very rewarding in the end. You're going to put all your energy and hard work and time into these projects, and they are going to be so grateful. I think my favorite part of the whole thing might be sending the finished product to people and them sending me pictures of them holding it up or it framed on their wall and just gushing about how perfect it is and how they appreciate me so much. And it's it makes it feel totally worth it. Okay, so just have fun with it. That's all I have for you guys. Hopefully this is helpful for any artists who are thinking about getting out there. And let me know any other art videos with tips or anything like that that you want me to do. I already have a few planned, but let me know just in case I'm missing anything, and I'll try my best to give you what you need.
Because I am a professional businesswoman.
Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.